Today we are going to explore one of the fundamental topics in geology, classification of rocks. Rocks are the building blocks of the earth crust, and understanding their types and how they form is essential for anybody interested in geology. So let's dive in. A basic introduction of rock is they are naturally formed solid aggregates of minerals or mineraloid materials. And each rock type has its own characteristics based on their texture, structure, color, permeability, mode of occurrence, and degree of resistance to denudation. Typically speaking, we can classify all these type of rocks based on their origin and appearance into three types: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Each type of rock has unique characteristics and formation process that we'll explore in this video. Igneous rocks. These rocks are formed from cooling and solidification of molten magma. And these rocks are formed way below the Earth's surface, and they take a longer time. They are cooled and solidified over a long period of time. Hence, they are found with visible crystalline structures with no stratified layers and fossils. And based on their mineral composition, we can classify the igneous rocks into acid igneous rocks and basic igneous rocks. Acid igneous rocks, they contain higher proportion of silica in these rocks. Example includes granite, and which is very less dense in nature and lighter in color. On the other hand, we have basic igneous rocks, which contain high proportion of basic oxide. Examples iron, aluminum, magnesium. So hence they are very dense and dark color in nature. Furthermore, further classification of igneous rocks based on their origin includes plutonic rocks or intrusive rocks, volcanic rocks or extrusive rocks. And plutonic or intrusive rocks the intrusive name comes from the fact that these rocks are formed when the magma cools and solidifies below the Earth's surface. Hence the name intrusive, because it is forming inside the Earth's surface. And because they cool slowly, they have large visible crystals. A common example is granite. On the other hand, volcanic extrusive rocks, these rocks are formed when the lava cools and solidifies on the Earth's surface outside. Because these rocks are being formed on the surface of the Earth, they are called extrusive rocks. Because they cool quickly, they have small and fine-grained crystals. A common example is basalt. And sometimes these volcanic rocks also have peculiar polygonal or columnar structures. And some of the famous examples of volcanic rock includes giant Casbah of Antrim in Northern Ireland with the columnar structures, and Columbian Snake Plateau in the USA. And one of the famous example in India includes the Deccan Plateau of India. So all these are the examples of volcanic and intrusive rocks. And this coming to the second type of rock, sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed from the accumulation and compaction of sediments over a long period of time, and these materials are brought from longer distances by glaciers, water streams, etc. And these has unique characteristic. These are uniquely characterized by their presence of layers. Hence, the name stratified sedimentary rocks. And as they're formed by accumulation of sediments over time, they are non-crystalline in nature and often contain fossils of both animal and plants. And sedimentary rocks are primarily classified based on their origin and composition into three types: mechanically formed, organically formed, and chemically formed. Mechanically formed or clastic sedimentary rocks are formed or composed of fragments of other rocks that have been weathered, transported, and deposited. A classic example would be sandstone, where single grain of sand are compacted together to form the sandstone. And we can see there are obvious stratified layers here as well. And when the pebbles are cemented together, it's called a conglomerate rock. And coming to the other type, which is organically formed, these rocks are formed from the accumulation of organic materials of living organisms. For example, corals, or shellfishes. We also have carbonaceous organically formed rocks, which are formed from the vegetative matter, not from the living organisms. One of the example would be peat swamps, vastly present in Scandinavian countries. And coming to the chemically formed rocks, these are formed from the precipitation of minerals from water. An example is limestone, which often forms in marine environments from the accumulation of calcium carbonate. So this is about sedimentary rocks. And coming to the third type of rocks, which is metamorphic rocks. These are formed from the transformation of the existing rocks that are both sedimentary rocks and igneous rocks. When high pressure and temperature is applied, they are converted to metamorphic rocks by the process of metamorphism. For example, limestone under high pressure and temperature, by changing the mineral composition and texture, can be converted to marble, and graphite can be converted to gneiss, and much more. So metamorphic rocks can be formed from any three type of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, even other metamorphic rocks through the process of metamorphism. And finally, coming to our rock cycle, which is a continuous process that describes the transformation of rocks from the igneous to the sedimentary to the metamorphic rocks. So through various geological process over time, igneous rocks can be broken down into sediments that form sedimentary rocks, and sedimentary rocks can be subjected to heat and pressure to form metamorphic rocks. And metamorphic rocks can melt to form magma, which again further undergo cooling to form igneous rocks, or melting as a form of volcanic extrusive rocks to form igneous rocks again. So this cycle illustrates the dynamic and interconnected nature of Earth's geology. In conclusion, each rock type tells a story about Earth's history and process that shapes it. Thank you for joining on this journey through the classification of rocks. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode in this series. Please feel free to leave any questions or comments below. See you next time. Thank you.